you know, for almost 2/3 of the race now, you know, Canavan, Parsons, and Moses have been racing pretty hard, all within sight of each other. Moses now coming up on some lap traffic, which is always dicey. You know, even though the drivers do their best to get the heck out of the way. Oh, and Moses clips, I think that was Sergio maybe. And that's allowed Parsons to close that gap up.
Sorry, just jumped on board with you there now, Jack. So, yeah, Parsons is now working his way back up to Moses again.
Yeah, that little clip, you know, Moses tagged a guy in the chicane there. Unfortunate.
Looks like these boys are pulling up on Jon Ludden.
Well, Houston, one of our courteous gentlemen, he will definitely pick his spot and allow these boys to slide on through. And you can bet Aaron is going to be all over this action here.
Yeah, they're coming up on a few lapped cars here, so this is going to be interesting for this battle to see how it plays out.
Chris's Ferrari is making all sorts of ground contact in the corners. Yep, as Chris comes right up behind on that lap traffic. Again into the chicane.
Canavan looking to make up some ground in P8.
Blue flag out.
Yep, blue flag for Houston. He's going to let Moses by. And he lets
Parsons
on by as well.
Good on Houston, because that was dicey, you know, to hang on the outside and let those two cars slide through. So way to go, Mr. Houston. On board.
Working on lap 50.
On board with Aaron Parsons. Aaron Parsons all over the back end of Chris Moses. Whoa! Nelly. Wow, that was some great close driving there. Whoa, that was close too, with one of the drivers, one of the Ferraris off the track there.
So just a quick update, Andres Prado still your leader out there. He's got about a 25-second lead over Ludden, who's got about a 3-second lead over White.
Well, I'm not sure if that's enough, but boy, it sure is great to see these guys, you know, utilizing every tool in the toolbox to get the job done here.
Sounds like we got somebody doing donuts.
Parsons off at turn one, in tight with Moses into the S's. Both of these drivers sliding their cars around pretty good. And you're right. Those skies are getting dark there, Ken. Parsons off in the gravel.
Parsons takes it way off.
Whoa. And that lets Canavan all through.
And Sportelli.
Yeah.
Sportelli,
you're right there.
Canavan. Somehow Sportelli got around Canavan.
Well, and Canavan is saying, I want that spot back, so I'm not going to let you run away with it. And he is all over Mr. Sportelli. Boy, we have got some great racing going on late in this race.
Yeah, that we do. And just a quick update. We have 10 cars on the lead lap right now. Marty Uren being the last one. And starting with P11, Ryan Mayfield is down a lap. Certainly not a typical situation that we're used to seeing him in.
We've got David Canavan down on the inside of Sportelli having a look into the chicane. No, side by side, bumping, swapping paint, and Canavan muscles his way through. It says to Sportelli, I am getting this job done right now.
He stuck his elbows out there.
Whoa, and he is driving a defensive line because Sportelli is right back at him. I am loving this.
You can't sleep on Sportelli. You can't sleep on Sportelli. He's quick in that Ferrari.
Yeah, John just loves those Ferraris. But in the camera there, Ken, behind that Ferris wheel, that is looking mighty dark. Oh, and Mr. Sportelli.
Yeah, that it is.
Sportelli better hold on to his helmet because Parsons is right back at them again.
No surprise there.
Coming up on a lap, Celine. One goes through.
It looks like Kreshnik.
Sportelli looking for a way around.
Absolutely.
Whoa, big slide by Halili has sort of got everybody scared. Oh, Sportelli makes a dive to the inside really quickly, but they both get through. Woo! That was some hair-raising action, I'll tell you.
Parsons all over Sportelli's rear bumper.
Both of them fairly tidy through that chicane, though. I got to tell you, Ken, I would have folded like a cheap suit going with that kind of pressure.
Working lap 53 right now, Jack.
Well, I take it.
About an hour left to go for these boys.
I take it Prado and Maris are still out on track and haven't pitted.
That they are.
Man,
no,
I don't know how Parsons isn't, giving Sportelli the chrome bumper. I mean, he is in so close to him. This is some close racing.
Great close racing action.
Whoa, and Parsons gets into Sportelli, and they're both off. Parsons in the grass. let Sportelli regain the position, but that brings Roman up, and Roman is going to drag race the two of them. And I think Roman has got the head of steam, and he does. He takes that position. But you know what? Parsons and Sportelli back at it again. Into the chicane side by side. Parsons finally muscles his way through. Oh my goodness. Wow.
Quick update, Jack, a little bit further back in P's 12 and 13, Ian Jolicoeur, David Poole going at it bumper to bumper right now as they just came out of the hairpin turn. So great racing going on back there for 12th position.
Just joined up with you there, Ken.
Jolicoeur's been closing the door on Poole as often as he's had the opportunity to, but it looks like they're coming up on a lapped car, which will probably give Poole an opportunity to close in on Jolicoeur.
Yep, Jolicoeur a little wide on that sweeper. Poole having a look on the inside on the chicane. Checks it up a little bit, but boy, he is all over the back of Ian. Blue flags waving like crazy out there, folks.
Ooh, somebody's got to give here.
Well, if somebody doesn't, something is going to give.
Flashing the lights.
He wants by.
Jolicoeur flashing the lights. Yeah, not sure who he's. Let me see if that's. Let's find out who this is. Yeah, Mikey Graytrix right in front of them, but Mikey Graytrix. Yep.
They got nowhere to go. Good on Mikey.
Jolicoeur makes it by Graytrix.
But you know, in Mikey's defense, he doesn't have a lot of options here right now. Through those S's, there is nowhere to go. Yep. Perfect spot for Mikey. Checked right up and let David through. You know, those S's are tough. You know, Ken.
They are. They're very tough. You go. It's what we call a rhythm section, and you can overcook it into one of those very easily. So it takes a lot of concentration to try and pass in the S's, even when you're coming up on some lap traffic.
Yeah, and you know, to pull off the throttle there, you know, as you would have to of a lapped car, is just going to create all sorts of problems for you and everybody else.
That it is.
You know, and I know these guys want through as quick as possible.
Not sure which Ferrari they're passing there, but they get through okay.
All right, Ken.
And that was Sam Rolfe.
Give us a rundown. Take it from the top. You walk it all the way through, Ken.
So, after 56 laps of racing, Andres Prieto in first, Jon Ludden second, Alex White in third, Brad Maris fourth, Chris Moses fifth, David Canavan in sixth, Rich Roman running seventh, Aaron Parsons in eighth, John Sportelli in ninth, and Marty Uren rounds out your top 10. Ryan Mayfield in 11, Ian Jolicoeur in 12, David Poole in 13, Ryan Schleif 14, Andrew Werner in 15th, Brian Mongrain in 16th, Gregory Myers 17th, 18th is John Waffen, 19th John Houston, and 20th is Bjorn Heyman. 21st to Jonathan Cuppett, Sam Rolfe is in 22nd, 23rd is Kreshnik Khalili. Oh, wow, just saw Sam Rolfe roll it.
And he parked it. We caught that on the camera there. Broadcaster's curse. Thanks,
so
Ken.
Sergio Calderon running 24th, Mikey Graytrix in 25th. Lou Mascherelli will round out the last of your running cars, which he's in 26, which will actually push him up to 25th now.
Boy, oh boy, you sent him flying off the track, didn't you?
I don't know. It was that bone spring setting. He didn't have it set right, I think.
You're right there. So
yeah, we went a couple of stories up.
I just wanted to come back as we were doing the rundown there. You know, we got Marty Uren and Ryan Mayfield have been going at it here, and boy, they're nose to tail as well. So we're going to hang in here with these two guys. Flying Ryan has shown all sorts of brilliant bursts of speed in whatever he drives. So let's hang in here. He is all over the back of Marty. Marty grabbing all the apron there, but hangs on to it. And
oh, Marty nearly overcooks it.
Yep, and that allows Ryan Mayfield through. I'm not so sure. I was on the bumper can of Ryan. I'm not sure. Did he actually come into contact with Marty?
Doesn't look like he did. Does not look like he did. Looks like Marty started to overcook it coming into the hairpin as well as coming out, and that allowed Ryan Schleif to come through.
Well, I'll tell you, it couldn't have got any closer. I don't think he could have slipped a piece of paper through there. So Mayfield from 33rd to 10th.
Yeah, over the course of nearly, over the course of 2 hours plus of racing.
So a really good run there.
We're down to a...
You know, no disrespect to Marty. Marty's running a good, solid 11 here in that old Ferrari F40. So Marty's having a great run as well.
Yeah, we have about 50 or so minutes left of racing.
Hey, Ken, you know, forget about these drivers out there. I thought we did a decent job. This is a big, long event for us.
It certainly is, and I'm actually holding up my energy level versus last season where I started sputtering out at about the 2 hour mark.
Well, you just hang in there, brother, because you're doing a fabulous job. Down in P12, Ian Joliker.
Oh, Ryan Mayfield takes it off the track. I don't know, but he's back on.
Yeah, I just went back up there as soon as you mentioned that. But boy, it doesn't look like he lost much there.
It looks like Anger Racing is in the pits.
Oh,
they've conceded the lead.
So Ludden and White. Moses in third, Canavan in fourth, Roman in fifth, and Parsons in sixth. Oh, and we got a lagged car out there. That looks like Roman. He is lagged all over the place.
No, I see Roman running just fine. Not sure who his partner is.
His partner is Chuck Carter, I believe. No, Andre Cole. Andre Cole.
Yeah, and he's not on the server, so it looks like Roman was warping there a bit.
And Roman all up the back. I don't know if that's Joliker or Wathen. So Prado in 8th, Mayfield in 9th. Where's our buddy? Where's our buddy? Where is... I can't find him. Sorry, folks. I'm scooting around here. Brad Maris is sitting in 11th. So...
Oh, yep. John Sportelli is out of fuel.
No.
He is out of fuel. Pushed it too far.
Did he run through his pit box, or did he just run out on track?
I think he ran out on track because he didn't come in with Anger Racing.
One lap too many for Jon Sportelli. You know, that's the second time he ran out of fuel. I think he ran out of fuel in the qualifier. I'm going to have to talk with that guy. He knows better.
Yep, change the gearing, buddy.
No, put more fuel in.
I think he may have topped off his tank the last pit stop. He just took it a little too far.
Yeah, a half a lap too far.
So back up front, I was just saying that I don't think we're going to see Alex White pushing it too hard to try and catch Ludden right now. I think that Alex is probably keeping something in reserve for the very final end of the race.
I don't know if that's in Alex's DNA.
Well, given the type of car that he's driving, that Celine is really harsh on the rear tires, and we saw what earlier in the race what can happen when he pushes it too far. But I'm wondering if Alex is even aware of the strategy that Anger Racing is pulling out on us tonight.
Well, I'm not sure either, but we will find out. Running lap 60.
Jon Ludden looks like he's on cruise control out there.
Yeah, been very smooth most of the race. You know, Alex looks like he's pushing, but boy, I got to hand it to this Jon Ludden. He is just running a wonderful race. A little bit of a slide there.
Yeah, you caught the front wheels counter steering.
But you know, there is no one in between right now between Ludden and White, and boy, that's all White needs is to get the bit in his teeth and want to drive this home.
Got that battle brewing back up between Canavan and Moses for third spot. They're getting tight again.
Just caught up with you there. Canavan all over the back of Chris. On board with the wily Irishman, David Canavan.
He certainly is a great competitor.
Yeah, I'm sure glad to have David back. You know, I missed him when he was away. But these two guys love competing against each other in every race.
Wow, bit of a cut there by Canavan.
Well, they don't want to get too many of them. They'll get called for a stop and go, and that would be the stop of the race, I'll tell you.
Yeah, there is the 10% cut rule in effect for this race tonight.
For the most part, it's all looked pretty good to me. You know, looks fairly clean. I don't anticipate any problems, but hey, you never know.
Ryan Mayfield has moved himself up to 8th.
Well, you know, he hasn't done that well tonight. He's only picked up 25 positions, Ken. I don't know what, you know, there's nothing to rave about that.
You know, David Poole was battling Ian Jolicoeur a little bit earlier. Ian Jolicoeur looks like he's pulled out a gap, but now David Poole is coming under pressure for P12 from his teammate, Andrew Werner.
Well, good pressure to have. You know, if one's got pace, he'll let the other one through. And you know what? There's a great team finish, too. You know, 12-13, if they can hang on to those spots, grab some nice points.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've got one in the pits.
Jolicoeur ducks into the pits.
Ryan Schleif up to P13. Greg Myers back in the final point space at P16, struggling through the chicane there. He keeps it out on track. Houston and Wathen nose to tail. You know, it's so hard, Ken. You know, you can climb up right behind these guys at the, you know, entering into that chicane. But getting out and staying on the guy's bumper is really, really tough.
It is. That it is. You have to hold such a perfect line through the chicane if you have any hopes of maintaining a close gap to the guy in front of you.
Yep, Houston holding off Wathen. Jolicoeur back in 18th. He's back on the track. Bjorn Heyman into the pits. Cuppet back in 20th. Halili in 21st. Sergio Calderon in 22nd. Mikey Graytrix in 23rd. And Lou Masciarelli in 24th. And it would appear that Jon Ludden is pulling a gap out on Alex White.
Yeah, I believe that Pagani Zonda may be a little bit more resilient to the tire wear than the Saleen. We know that the Saleen cooks them rear tires in a really bad way. Given the track conditions, 96, 82 ambient, still fairly hot out there on the track. So we know that them rear tires, especially the rear tires on the Saleen, are smoking hot.
Yeah, and it does look like Alex is struggling just a little bit on some of these corners. Struggling for these guys is a strong word to use. I mean, you know, they're definitely racing the wheels off these cars, but you know, when I compare the two, Jon Ludden. Oh, John, I just switched back over to John. He has a big bobble there, but John has just been looks so silky smooth out there.
Yeah, as I said, he's just on cruise control right now. He's doing a phenomenal job. At
Back in 3-4, Canavan and Moses. Canavan, just he wants that third place podium finish.
Yeah, and you know that Moses is going to fight him for it, tooth and nail.
Well, I think they just swapped license plates there.
Just a little bit of a kiss.
But that Ferrari's got some legs, Ken.
Yeah, that it does. Every time we see them get onto the straight, Moses is able to pull out a little bit of a gap, and then just to have it diminish when Canavan, so long as he runs a clean line, pulls on the infield, will pull it right up on his bumper again.
You know,
starting now at the chicane.
Yeah, you know, and that has got to be, you know, a bit of a frustration level there with Canavan to, you know, work the technical parts so well to get up close to have Moses just pull it out in the straight.
Would not surprise me if Moses is running a low rear wing on this Ferrari setup tonight.
He sure does appear to have some straight line speed. But this is a fabulous battle for third.
So we might see Ludden coming into the pits this lap.
Boy, Moses and Canavan just duking it out here.
Ludden stays out. He has pulled out a 6.7 second lead over Alex White.
Well, this is
and Alex White will stay out as well.
That's a complete reverse to the first part of the race, where White had about the same amount of advantage over Ludden. On board with David Canavan
Roman and
into
Parsons.
the chicane.
Roman and Parsons are battling it tooth and nail as well for P5 and 6.
Just caught up with you there, Ken, and you're right. That's there. Hey, and Parsons.
Oh,
into the pit.
Gives up the fight for the moment. Yeah. This is an interesting turn of events.
We've
here.
got Moses.
Moses strategy is, I believe.
We got Moses and Canavan in the pits as well.
Moses, Parsons, and Canavan. We are working lap 65. So they certainly have, with this stop now, enough to go the distance.
Yep, but Prado and Maris. I want to keep my eye on Prado.
Well, they last pitted 7 laps ago. So they pitted on lap 58, as I predicted.
Canavan's
Will
rolling.
they have enough?
Canavan's got it over Moses. Moses comes out behind Canavan.
Wow. I was just saying, does Prado and Maris have enough to make it to the end? I don't know.
You know, could they be running a lot taller gears? You know, Alex Scott mentioned that, you know, they're one of the most fuel-efficient cars out there.
It's a possibility that they are running the taller gears.
You know, on board here with Brad Maris, as Canavan came out to, you know, pass Maris, but that Viper sure sounds like it's running a lower RPM setup.
A little bobble by Canavan has allowed Brad Maris to pull up right behind him. Interesting to see what Maris's moves are going to be here, because I know that the fuel load has got to be lighter in that Viper.
Well, you know, Brad has got to stick with this guy, because if he's going on a no, like if they do have enough to go to the end, he's got to get by him. And Canavan puts it off and back on. Oh, and taps Brad. Whoa, wow, 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 wow. And that allows Moses up into this 4A as well.
Moses.
So, 3-car race here. Whoa! Moses goes in between. Moses down and takes Canavan on the outside. Oh, Canavan off the track. Back on again. Wow, these guys are getting really hairy here.
Just a quick update. Alex White into the pits. And I believe we might have lost Jon Ludden. No, sorry. He's up in third. Whew, that was scary.
Yeah. Oh, boy. So Prado currently in second.
Ludden is just...
Roman in first.
Ludden has just made his last pit.
Now Roman hasn't pitted yet.
Roman has not pitted yet, and I know that he does not have... Well, then again, wait a minute. He last pitted some laps ago.
He's staying out.
He pitted 18 laps ago. I don't think he's got enough to make it to the end.
No, he won't have enough to make it to the end. But, you know, why not drive around in no. P1?
Uren comes into the pits, as well as Brian Mongrain into the pits. David Poole, Andrew Werner, Ryan Schleif all into the pit.
Now, Ryan Mayfield, we're just going to have to wait until this rotation settles down. I'm totally lost here.
Well, Ryan Mayfield has not made his third and final pit, so he last pitted about 18 laps ago also.
Ooh, poor Mikey's car. Mikey's Ferrari. Yep. All four corners and the two doors. The only thing that he doesn't have that Rally had over him, Rally had a caved-in roof. So Roman has got to come in at some point. Brado's running in P2. Ludden in P3. Mayfield has to come in. White is quite a ways behind.
You know, Prato pitted 9 laps ago. If what we've been seeing them do here pays off, once Roman pits, it may give Prato the lead for good.
Yeah. And
with 20 laps left to go, we may see the strategy of Prato and Maris pay huge dividends here.
You know what? And what a collaborative effort that is, because Anger Racing, one of the most successful teams that you and I have watched race, they obviously have done their homework, and I'm not so sure about... Oh, I just got a little peek at the skies there, and we're going to have to wait and see if we can get a better peek there. But Brad Maris, being the instructor extraordinaire, must have had a lot to do with this strategy.
Yeah, no doubt there, Jack. I wouldn't put it past that Brad had a huge influence on what the strategy may have been here. But, boy, I have to say that if they can pull this off, it would be incredible.
Well, I just on board there with Andre Prado, you know, and it looked like he was short shifting a little bit there, so maybe they are trying to conserve fuel and maintain half-decent pace at the same time. If they can drop a pit stop out of this, that is a huge advantage. You can afford to give up half a second a lap.
Well, I'll tell you this much. He's about 16 seconds behind Rich Roman. And Ludden is, I want to say Ludden's about 8 seconds or so back from Prado. So if Prado plans on going the distance, he can't slack up too much because Ludden will be hard charging, who just recently pitted.
Yeah, you know, Ludden's on fresh tires. He's been running so smooth.
Yeah, and he only pitted 3 laps ago, so Prado jumps up into the lead with a 7.6 second lead over Ludden.
Yep, he's got a couple of corners on him, so your new race leader, Andre Prado. I don't even want to give him the broadcaster's curse, but boy, I hope he has the fuel to finish. And you know what? Half of the skies are dark and half of the skies are blue.
Yeah, I think we may see this end on a dry note here, Jack. I don't think that we're going to see any type of weather changes. I could be wrong. I'm not a meteorologist, but that's just my guess based on past history with GTR2.
Well, I hope so. These guys had enough water on Monday night. I know I sure had enough water on Monday night to last me the next 10 races. So, quick little rundown. P1, Andre Prado. Jon Ludden in second. Ryan Mayfield. Ryan's still got a pit, though.
Ryan does have to pit, yes.
You know what? We'll do the rundown as soon as all these guys finish. I don't think Ryan can't run to the end. There's no way.
Not in the saline. He pitted way long ago. And we might see Ryan Mayfield ducking into the pits here within the next lap or two.
Yep, just coming through the chicane. He's staying out.
Well, he's got 21 laps, 22 laps now with that.
Whoa! And we just had
with that tank of fuel.
I think that was Brad Maris just come out of the pits. Brad Maris was in the pits. They might not have the fuel to
Brad
finish.
Goes down a lap.
They might
Brad
not
goes
have.
Down a lap. And,
yeah.
He may have taken a splash. Not sure. I'm gonna go back and check his last lap time after having come out of the pits.
They might not have the fuel to do it.
Looks like he took on fuel. No, something certainly is not right there. Something happened to Brad because there's only 10 laps between his last pit and this one, so there was something wrong there. Not sure what it was. Maybe tires. If he tried to double stint, figured that he couldn't make it on a double stinted tires.
Maybe he short fueled.
But his lap time started to dip into the 2-minute mark and then a 2:06. So it wouldn't surprise me if he stopped for tires.
Yeah, maybe. But Prados is hanging on to the lead there. And we've got Ludden coming up to some lap traffic.
Ludden is still, he's only 5 seconds behind Prado. Looks like Prado's kind of nursing his car a little bit.
Well, again, he's putting on quite a few more laps on that tire set per set than Ludden is. And Mayfield's staying out as well. So, they've got quite a gap on Alex White, though, from Prado to Alex White.
Yeah, Alex White, his last pit stop was, we're gonna have to take a look here. About 6 laps ago, not very long ago. So he can afford to push it towards the end.
Now, oh wait a minute, I think Prado just came out of the pits.
Prato is out of the hairpin.
Yep, sorry. Yes, Maris was back in the pits again.
Wow.
Maris.
Not sure what's going on there.
I don't either. Did Maris slide through his pit box? Did he get a cut for a stop and go? I'm bewildered. If anybody out there has any idea, throw it out there to us because we don't know.
He may have gotten a pit lane violation. That's my guess, based on the last lap time of 2:32. Looks like he may have came in a little bit too hot in the pit lane and got a violation for it.
Well, it has cost him 3 spots.
He is now currently running at P13. Yep.
And he is in the middle of that. Moses, Canavan, well, now Myers is up into that mix as well, too.
Yeah. Ryan Mayfield finally ducks into the pits.
Well, Gregory Myers in a sandwich now. In 14th, it looks like he is down a lap and getting the blue flag.
He's getting shown the blue flag.
Dip of the lights. Canavan goes on the inside. Greg hangs out to the outside. Well done, Greg. Boy, that guy is so smooth. You know what? I hate that guy. He is so smooth. Only kidding, Greg. I absolutely love the way that guy drives. You know, light on the steering wheel. You know, smooth as silk in the corners. Drives his way from the back to the front every race I see him in. So, Maris, big problems there. Jolicoeur up to P10. Marty Uren in 9th. Roman in 8th. Parsons in 7th. Mayfield in 6th. Canavan in 5. And Canavan looks like he is in behind Moses. White in 3rd. Ludden in 2nd. And Prado hanging on to 1st. Wow.
Yeah, amazing at this point.
You know, Ludden ran such a great season last year. He's probably saying to himself right now, okay, I've passed Alex on the track. What do I got to do to win one of these races?
The competition is very high here at NEGP, and as such, it takes a lot sometimes.
Well, you know, it's just not the competition on the track, Ken. I mean, these guys have shown that, you know, strategy is a big part of winning around here at NEGP. You've got to be on top of every part of the game here.
Yeah, you are absolutely not kidding, Jack. It's amazing what Prato and Maris have been able to accomplish here. So, again, I'd be interested to see if Prato can actually go the distance. That's my prediction, is that they're doing a 3-stop strategy with full tanks and emptying them out, which means that he'll probably be right about empty when he crosses that start-finish line if he can hold on to P1.
Yeah. You know, and it is not going to be easy for Jon Ludden to get around Andre Prado in the closing laps.
Perhaps not, but I'm starting to see a dwindling gap between Ludden and Prado, which, well, again, it makes me believe that Prado may just be babying a little bit his throttle going around the track. And as you mentioned, the short shifts in an effort to conserve fuel.
Well, I am, you know, these two wily veterans, Prado and Brad Maris, I'm telling you right now, they are watching the gaps up on their screen as well. I mean, I can't do it. If I take my eyes off the road for a second, I'm doing a pirouette. But these guys seem to be able to do it. And it is going to be one heck of a finish. I'm not sure what lap we're running on right now, but we're getting down to the closing strokes of this race.
We're on lap 74.
Well,
Matrix comes into the pits, I see.
Yeah, well, there is time, you know, for Ludden to run him down.
It looks like Mike Ratrix took just a splash of fuel because he is out quick.
Yeah, Mikey running a solid race tonight. Had some good action there, Mike. Good on you.
But the story of the night is Anger Racing with their long pit strategy. Can they pull it off? Can Prado finish this race in first, having gone 29 lap intervals from start to finish? I don't know. Ludden now closing the gap,
yeah,
to 4 seconds.
And he is on a charge. Jon Ludden, you know, he can see the back of Andre Prado. I'm on board on the bumper cam right now. He sees him at the end of the straightaway. Oh, how tantalizing that is. So Jon, you know, has got to push but not make a mistake, because it could be that the fuel window is so narrow that Prado might run out of fuel.
It's possible. If he forces Prado into a position where Prado has to start defending his line often and push a little bit harder, we may see that strategy kind of dissipate on the Anger Racing team for Andres Prado. But let's keep in mind, Jon Ludden he pitted later, so he's on fresher tires. He's got the fuel to finish, and he's certainly pushing really hard. Like you said, I know that he can see the back of Andre's car. He's closed that gap down to 3 seconds now, whereas it was 8 seconds not too long ago. So I think he's smelling it. Jon Ludden may be smelling his first win.
Yeah, and I'm on the bumper cam with Jon Ludden, and he is pushing that car hard. And Andre's car is getting bigger and bigger every corner.
I could just hear Jon Ludden in his car. I'm gonna get you.
I'm coming.
I'm coming for you. I'ma get you. Looks like Prado is starting to push a little bit there, Jack.
Well, Andre's got to get on the go pedal, maintain that gap. He does not want Ludden on his bumper. What a fabulous, closeout to our season opener. 3 hours at Suzuka. And it always amazes me here, Ken, how, you know, these top drivers, after 3 hours of racing, are so close together.
Yeah, yeah. Shows a high level of competition here with these guys.
But Ludden is closing.
I just cannot seem to peel myself away from Ludden's bumper cam.
Yeah, on board right now with Andre Prado, and yeah, they're running a very tall set of gears here tonight.
Ludden cutting it really close in that chicane. He's got to watch it coming through there.
Well, he has to go for it, Ken. I mean,
oh, I agree.
Even
just don't want it to be at the expense of a stop-and-go penalty.
Yes. Also, you know, they've got a bit of a gap between Alex White, so I mean, a small mistake isn't going to be too costly. But the last thing he's going to want to do is put it off into the gravel, where it's going to cost him that second-place finish. But he is closing quickly.
Boy, yeah, and he is cutting them corners tight, man. He is just running a really tight race right now. Good on Jon Ludden. And I know that Prado must be looking in his rear view and seeing that Pagani Zonda. Not what he wants to see.
Well, he can definitely see him now.
On a back marker. Oh, yeah.
Yep, looks like they're coming up on one of the Nissans. You know, that Nissan is going to want to just get right the heck out of the way. Bad spot here now. Nissan going into that big left-hand sweeper.
Coming through 130R.
You're right. That Ludden is taking every inch of those curbs. Wow. Boy, does, you know, that Viper sure has the legs down the straight, but that Zonda can sure close it up in the technical bits.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it certainly can.
Oh, and John is saying, I got you now, Andre. I got you. I'm coming.
Jack, I need 30 seconds here, real quick.
Well, folks, this has been some fabulous action here. That Nissan hasn't come into play yet, but it surely will. And we don't want to have this. Whoa, a very, and he drives wide and lets them through. Jon Ludden having a little bit of a look there, but can't get the power down quick enough. So Prado able to hold him off. You know, sorry guys, back in the pack there. I know we've got some great racing going on, but after almost 3 hours of racing, we have got a real dogfight for the win here tonight. Big slide by John going around the corner. Oh, Prado, big slide. John checks up and a big slide as well. That's allowed Andre to get a little bit of breathing room. Jon is so fast in through the S's here.
We're back, Jack.
Great stuff. Yeah, a little bit of a slide there by Andre into the chicane. Jon had to check up, so Andre got a bit of breathing room, but boy, oh boy, Jon is so strong through these technical sections.
Yeah, that Pagani's on the high downforce car. Really good through the technical stuff. Looks like he's got a very stable setup in the car, and he is right back on Andre's bumper.
Yeah, and you know, they've been pretty good. They came up to a lapping car, a Nissan, and the Nissan pulled off, led them through. But Ludden all over the back, giving Prado all sorts of trouble. You know, about the only good thing that Prado's got going for him now is he's probably got a very light fuel load on board.
Yeah. Yep. But can his tires withstand it?
No. You know, his only hope
that
is
rear end sliding out.
Yeah, his only hope is here you go on the straight bits. I mean, the Zonda just doesn't have the legs to close the gap on the straights. Prado very defensive on there and takes it off track. Oh, and that'll be a big cut for Andre. So hopefully he doesn't have any more cuts there.
Yeah, that would be really, really heartbreaking.
Well, that was a pressure move there. And I don't know about you, Ken, but you know what? Anytime I get a bit of a big lurch like that, it is tough to get the rhythm back going right away. I mean, it usually takes a few corners to get your rhythm back.
Yeah, that it is. I mean, it may have affected Prado, it may not have. I know that we've seen in situations like these previously in previous seasons, Prado has a tendency to start overdriving the car, defending his line, and putting the car out of its pace a little bit. So is that the case here? We're not sure. We'll have to wait till the end of the race to see. Again, he's probably pushing it a little bit hard. We're going to have to see how the fuel thing works out.
Well, you know, he's taken a very defensive line, which is probably not the preferred line going through the corners.
No, but certainly expected of him to do so.
Oh, absolutely.
Block the racing line.
Absolutely. You know, it's just going to take some patience on Jon Ludden's part, you know, to take the correct line and get a better run off it. But boy, look at the legs on that car on the straight. Both of them pushing hard.
Ludden almost puts it in the kitty litter.
Yeah, you know, they've been so close on that 130R out there. So close every time they go around. And that's the exact same corner we saw, you know, Aaron Parsons lose it in the qualifying race. So, you know, they're pushing that hard. What do we got left in the race there, Ken?
Yeah, let's take a look at this. Let's go back, look at our timing. We're currently working on lap 81.
So, just a few more, and we will be one in the books. Oh my goodness. That Ludden is all over him. I think that was a little love tap, and Ludden's gotten through.
Oh, Andres takes it. Yep.
You know, Jon gave him just a little love tap and said, enough is enough. I am taking this spot.
Boy, I was on the nose cam when that occurred. I can't be sure that he actually gave Prato a nudge there. Very possible, very likely also that he may have.
It looked.
But I can't be sure.
I was the same as you, Ken. We had the bumper cam up as well, so you know, I didn't really catch the the full view, other than if he didn't give him a kiss, there was no room for paper there. Wow.
To find out if this boy can pull this win off, who he is in our Ventrilo servers. Oh, I see him. Good. So, if he can pull this win off, I'll be sure to go and grab him.
Yes, and you know what?
Victory.
We want to grab as well as soon as we get rid of, not to get rid of. Don't get me wrong. Poor choice of words there, Jack. After we talk to Ludden, I would love to talk to Prado or Brad because I think their strategy was brilliant. So quickly, I'm just going to run down the field while we have the opportunity. So we got Ludden, Prado, Alex White in third, Canavan in fourth. And it looks like Canavan's all by himself. Moses in fifth. Ryan Mayfield is hanging on to sixth there. So Ryan with a fabulous run tonight. Parsons in seventh. Roman in eighth. Marty Uren in ninth. Ian Jolicoeur in 10th. And you know what? Jolicoeur and Poole, sorry guys, they are still duking it out here. So Poole is giving Jolicoeur every bit of that big Aston. And looks like he's having a look for a pass here too. Werner in 12th. Maris down to 13th. Ryan Schleif in 14th. Myers in 15th. And Brian Mongreen in 16th. Houston in 17th. Wathen in 18th. Heyman in 19th. Cuppet in 20. Calderon in 21st. Graytrix with the beat-up F40 in 22nd. Halili locking her up in 23rd. And Lou has parked it.
Yep, Liquid Lou has come into the garage.
Well, I have one little sip of coffee left, and boy, I'm telling you, I need it. I am drier than a dog's bone, I'll tell you. So, Ludden out in front. Looks like he is looking fairly comfortable there.
Yeah, he's pulled out a little bit of a comfortable lead for the remaining laps. So we are winding down here. Working lap 83 as Ludden and Prato cross the start-finish line. It's hard to tell if we're going to finish on time or on laps here right now, Jack, because we're cutting it real close.
Yeah, we got a little bit of a schmozzle going on back there at the chicane with Jolicoeur, Andrew Werner, Jolicoeur, and Poole. So it looks like we have an Aston Martin sandwich with a Nissan filling. Brad Maris in 13th. Schleif in 14th. But you know what? The racing still is going on around the track. So good on all these drivers. They put on a fabulous display tonight. From front to back, it was very entertaining. But the action out front was just stunning. And I got to tell you, I have never seen, in all the times we've been doing this Thursday night, that strategy became so dominant out on the track.
Absolutely, I have to agree. Jack.
It does look like Andre has conceded the win to Jon Ludden. He wouldn't admit that, but I just don't think that the Viper has it left in it to come back up and challenge.
Well, it was an excellent strategy. I got to tell you that. If we see Ludden pull this win out. I have to give a lot of credit to Anger Racing for having come up with such a strategy. You know, that it didn't work this time. Well, you know, the stars may have, or the cards may have just fallen in Jon Ludden's favor this time around. But
well,
we've seen Jon Ludden. Yep, go ahead.
You know, it might not have worked for the win, but second place is pretty darn good. I mean, I think the strategy worked brilliantly.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, Alex White with his one off. And again, I guess the Celine just ate the tires up. The Pagani was just too strong. And, but boy, oh boy, talk about an interesting outcome here. Yeah, I just went on board with Andre, and it sounds like Andre is just, don't get me wrong, you know, got great pace still, but it sure sounds like he is just pedaling around to come in for the second place finish. So Mayfield out in 6th, still chasing Chris Moses, but a fair distance there. Parsons in 7. Roman in 8, a little bit of a gap there. Marty in 9th. Werner 10th. Joliker and Pull, they're still going at it, those two. Boy, oh boy, that's been a battle going on for a long time now. But that's what makes us fun here, eh? I mean, there you go, they're back in 12th. Racing for 12th spot, and they're still going at it after 3 hours of racing, so never say never around here. There's always great action.
That's right.
Brad, the instructor extraordinaire, in P13. Schleif 14. Myers in 15th. Brian Mongrain, great finish for Brian in 16. John Houston in 17. Waffen, good on you, John. You know what? You hung in there tonight. You put in 3 hours of racing. You're only a couple out of the points. But I'll tell you right now, 3 hours is a long, long time to race.
Yeah, it certainly is. It's also a long time to broadcast, eh?
It is indeed. You know, thank goodness we're back to our 1 hour features for the most part. And we've got a couple of months until we get into the big 3 hour finale. So we got a little bit of a break there for a number of weeks, Ken.
Oh yeah, yeah, and I welcome that, considering that this is it's not easy. It's not easy for these drivers to drive for 3 hours. It's not easier. It's not easy for the broadcasters to broadcast for 3 hours. But we do it for all you fine folks out there.
Yep, and, you know, while we got just a second here, I think we might be coming down to the last strokes of the race. I want to remind you guys, NAGP is run by donations from the viewers and the drivers like you. So, if you like driving in the league, or if you like watching, throw us a few bucks. Hey, in fact, one of the best buys you can get is one of our t-shirts for 20 bucks. So, help support the league. It's a great place to hang out, great place to race, great place to broadcast too. Thanks to Al and all the admins for letting Ken and I get up here and chitter chatter every week. We love doing it.
Yep. And Jack, I think we may be watching the penultimate lap here.
Well, I bet you John's wishing it is. And I'm on board with your race leader, Jon Ludden. Just a superb, smooth race and superb conditions tonight, Ken.
Oh, absolutely. Perfect racing conditions for these guys. Temperature crept back up to 102 degrees, 87 ambient, but doesn't seem to have affected the race drive that Jon Ludden has to pull out this this win here.
Yeah,
I'd almost dare call it. I'd almost dare call it an upset.
yeah. We knew he was speedy. You know, I mean, he came in second in the qualifying race, and well earned. You know, on a miscue from Aaron Parsons. But you know, of all the drivers tonight, I got to tell you, this guy looked like he was the smoothest operator out there. And this will be Jon's first NAGP win. And you know what? This is not going to be his last, Ken.
No, I'd have to say it's not. I'd have to say it's not going to be.
And that is it.
And it looks, that's it. That is the race.
So, Andre Prado coming around for second. Alex White gonna hang on here. Alex White struggling a little bit in the Saline. Coming through the final chicane.
Gonna drop down.
Yep, you go grab that boy and drag him up here.
Just let.
Soon as I finish the run through, we'll get our interview with the winner. Alex White taking the checkered flag for third. The White Lightning. Good race, Alex. David Canavan. A wonderful performance for P4. Chris Moses coming around the final turn. And that is a great race for Chris in P5. Ryan Mayfield in 6th. Aaron Parsons in 7th. Rich Roman in 8th. Marty Uren should come around, finish 9th. Andrew Werner in 10th. David Pohl for 11th. Joe Lacour for 12th. Brad Maris in the 13th spot. Greg Myers in the points, 14. Ryan Schleif in the points at 15. And Brian Mongrain, good race Brian, in the points at 16. Houston in 17th. Wathen in 18th. Bjorn Heyman in 19th. Jonathan Cuppett in 20. Mike Greitrich in 21. Followed by Sergio Calderon trying to put the pass on him, and it looks like he will. So Calderon is going to take 21. And Mike Greitrich in 22nd. Halili in 23rd. And that's your race order.
Excellent, guys. Jack, we have the honor of having Mr. Jon Ludden in the broadcast booth with us. Jon, we want to extend our congratulations on your first NAGP win here. How do you feel about that?
I'm extremely happy about it. To win against these guys here, it's quite an accomplishment. You know?
Well, this is just Jack here, Jon. A hell of a race. Great pace you showed. You can hopefully you'll watch the rebroadcast. You were smooth as silk out there, man. We were rooting for you. Great race to pull it out like that. It was just fabulous to watch. Thanks.
Yeah, I was just happy that the temperature stayed up pretty high. You know, Zonda does really well with that. So it was awesome.
Yeah, I'd say you figured some type of a magic combination with that Zonda. We saw you in the qualifying race. We've seen you in practice. Always very fast, always very smooth. So no surprise there to see you up at the top. It was a little bit of a surprise seeing you win, but again, it was a pleasure to watch you drive. And we just want to congratulate you. I'd like to talk to you a little bit, if I can, about your strategy. What type of strategy for fuel and tires did you have going into a 3-hour race such as this one?
Well, mainly just you know, change tires, put mediums on, use as little fuel as possible. That's it.
Well, it seems to have been the winning combination for tonight. We are ecstatic that you actually won, Jon. Congratulations again on your first win. I'm sure there's going to be some talk on the forum. And don't forget to catch the rebroadcast again. Great job.
Well, congratulations, Jon. And for NAGP, folks, catch us next Thursday night for more GT1 action, and we'll see if Mr. Ludden can repeat.
That's right. So, Jon, I will So.